Monday, the 11th of June, and I'm coming to you on kind of a sunny slash rainy slash thunderstormy day. We've had a little bit of everything and still more storms expected yet again this afternoon. I have lots to show you, and I really would like to get this done in one video, and it's probably going to end up being two, but I thought I would give it a shot, and we'll see how far I can get in 15 minutes and how fast I can talk. So to start with, I have one FFO. I finished up my version of Fresh Eggs Farm, and if you remember, I switched the words around because at the time I was thinking it made more sense to say Farm Fresh Eggs, not thinking about the fact that it was a series where every farm was going to have a different name, and this particular farm was called Fresh Eggs Farm. So anyway, the small looks like this, and it's absolutely lovely, and I finished it up in my version of Farm Fresh Eggs, and my version looks like this. So I learned a lot in this process of doing this particular one. I've never done a finish quite like this before. It's obviously Priscilla and Chelsea inspired. I'm happy with it. I'm not super pleased. There are lots of mistakes, and I can see a lot of issues with my finishing, but you know, for first time around of this sort of finishing, I guess it's okay. This is a frame from Hobby Lobby that I got on sale for I think 40 or 50% off. I had to change up kind of this arch here because of how I did the words and switching the words around and moving the chicken, and I had to add 2 extra eggs to kind of balance everything out. I really struggled with stitching this on this dark linen. For whatever reason, I struggled to see it, and I had lots of frogging in this piece. So I was sort of in a quandary of what to do with the big, which I would still really like to do, and all of the future ones, which I would like to do. I started out thinking I was going to stitch it on the dark linen and decided no, that wasn't going to work for me. So then I tried a piece of pale blue linen that I thought would be pretty. I could definitely see it, but I stitched most of the roof of the barn, and it wasn't popping at all. Even though the blue is outlined with white, the white wasn't popping on that light blue. So then I coffee dyed a piece of Monaco that I had laying around, and it didn't, I mean, it was okay, but it was just kind of blah and boring. So I thought, well, maybe if I make it a deeper, darker brown, that would work. And so I just used plain old brown Ritz and kind of dip dyed it, and it turned out like this. And you know what? That's just, I don't like that at all. I mean, I think this will be a really good piece of fabric for a Halloween piece, or maybe even some primitive Christmas smalls. But for this, it was just yucky. So I put it aside yesterday. I was kind of frustrated, and this morning it occurred to me that maybe if I take that light blue linen and Rit dye it in a deeper blue, but not a navy blue, maybe that would work. And I ended up with a piece of fabric that looks like this, which I think is going to be just about perfect. So I think this is dark enough that the colors will pop. It is 28 count, and I can see the holes quite a bit better than I could on the really dark blue. So I'm gonna try that. Now, I don't know if I want to use this for the large of Fresh Eggs Farm, or, which I picked up on Saturday, if I want to use it for Queen Bee Flower Farm, because that would be really pretty on here too, and I could actually do the small and the large on that. However, I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea on Saturday, and they talked about someone who had done this particular one on a piece of yellow, dyed yellow linen. And I went on to Instagram to take a look at that under the hashtag, and I think it's PC Queen Bee Farm or PC Queen Bee. And that yellow is really, really beautiful. So I don't know. I'll probably do the large of Fresh Eggs Farm on the blue that I dyed, and then see if I can find something different and more interesting for Queen Bee. I think Queen Bee, for as cute as Fresh Eggs is, I think Queen Bee, I love that. I think that is such a cool piece. Priscilla, you are amazing. Anyway, and Kathy Haberman as well. Okay, so that was my FFO, and then I did 2 finishes for my friend Colleen, who finished her April wordplay, and I turned that into a little pillow, and she did a patriotic piece, sort of a patriotic piece, that I used Vanna's tutorial and did a mounted flat fold. I forgot to take pictures before I sent them to her, but I had her take pictures at home and send them to me, so I'm going to insert pictures of both of those here. I did not do the stitching on these, only the finishing. Okay, so I thought those turned out really cute. Other than that, I have been working on, okay, the only other thing that I've really, cross-stitch wise, that I've really spent a lot of time working on, sorry, I'm in a different spot today, and I'm kind of out of sorts. Little House Needleworks Hometown Holiday Schoolhouse. Looks like that, and I finished the schoolhouse, and now working on the tree. I have another tree to do, and then the people and the little tiny trees at the bottom and some snow to fill in, and then that will be done. And these are gorgeous. I think that schoolhouse is stunning. I'm using the called for colors on these, I think, for the most part. Yeah, I am using, I think pretty much for everything I'm using the called for colors. My goal was to do one of these a month, and of course I have not done that. I want to do all of them, and some of them I want to do 2 versions, because some of them I want one for me and then one for different people that, you know, that they remind me of. If you remember, I did the tree farm for my father-in-law for Christmas as well, and I was really pleased with how that turned out. So that's kind of the only cross-stitch thing that I've really been working on besides finishing up Fresh Eggs Farm. Other than that, I do have a little bit of haul. I went out to Julie's to Reflections on Saturday and got to meet the lovely Darlene Bumgardner, who's does not do videos, but is a very prolific stitcher, and has gone to some retreats and also is a great commenter on many of our videos. Got a chance to meet her, and then also got a chance to meet Giselle Suzuki, who, come to find out, lives 5 minutes from my house. She's also just always been a great supporter and lovely commenter on my videos, and I think she comments on many, and I know she follows a lot of different Flosstube people. Just lovely, and it was so sweet to meet them, and come to find out, Giselle lives so close, so hopefully once things settle down around here, we'll be able to get together. Here shortly. Darlene was so patient with me. We had my mother-in-law, who I think I've talked about has Alzheimer's disease, very advanced Alzheimer's. She had several really rough episodes this week, so I had to cancel and reschedule several times on Darlene, and I really appreciate her patience with me and getting all of that done. And boy, that Alzheimer's, it's a rough deal. My father passed away from it now almost 8 years ago, and he had it for a longer period of time, but it was kind of in the early stages for a longer period of time, where my mother-in-law has spiraled very quickly. She's only had it for about 5 years, and I mean, really, that's a long time. And she's, the last probably 6-8 months she's really spiraled, and it's just rough. It's rough on my father-in-law. It's hard on my husband. Luckily we're close. They're just 5 minutes away from us, and so you know, we're close at hand to help in whatever way we can. But sometimes I think sometimes we all just feel really helpless with it. So that's been kind of rough. But anyway, Onward and upward. So I was out there to pick up the latest, the Queen Bee Flower Farm, and the latest of the Farmhouse Christmas, which I have here somewhere, and I don't know what I did with that. Oh yeah, right here. The quilt block for Farmhouse Christmas, which looks like that. And that's all I was there to pick up. Oh, and I wanted to find something for my daughter. Her birthday is Thursday, and I wanted to kit something up for her, which I did, but I'm not going to show you because I think she might watch this. But I, of course, bought a few other things. So in terms of haul, I happened to be watching Saturday morning before I left to go out to Reflections. I happened to be watching Jen's Stitching Niche, and Jen had shown this FFO, which was one of her mania starts. It's Threadworks Primitive, a Bees Gathering, and Jen actually sells this on her website, but I hadn't noticed it before, and she showed this, and I thought, and it was finished, and it's gorgeous, and she talked about it's only 3 colors, and it's so pretty, and da-da-da, and I happened to see it at Julie's, and I thought, well, I just have to get that, so that should be a quick and easy finish. I love how primitive that looks. That is gorgeous. I love that. So Threadwork Primitives, a Bees Gathering. I also picked up several others, and they're buried here. Oh, I also picked up Heartstring Samplery Festive Little Fobs Beekeeping Edition, which looks like this. I love this one, and I want to do about 6 of those. I like the flower, the basket with the flowers. And which other one did I really like? Maybe that one. So yeah, I just thought I like those. Those are. Oh, and the bee skip up here. That was the other one that I really liked. So I'd like to crank out a few of those. Wouldn't those be fun to give to people? I would just be fun to have. I would like to have, like, I don't know, a basket of smalls, little pillows that I could just give to people. Like if people come over, my friend Gail's coming over tonight we're making mojitos, and she's coming over after dinner, and we're gonna hopefully sit out on the deck, although the weather may not cooperate for that. But I think it would be so much fun to have, you know, little smalls all worked up that you could, or if you were going to someone's house, a little hostess gift. I don't know, and I was thinking those would be super fun in the summertime, just to be able to give those to people and, you know, be like, here, this is for you. I made this. I don't know. You know, that's my plan. The other thing that I got was, I did not realize that Little House Needleworks had punch needle designs, but indeed they do, and Julie happened to have one copy left of Bee Garden, which looks like this. Julie, by the way, is working on this. She started it, I think, last week, and she got it out to show Darlene and I on Saturday while we were there. And she said, I said, I didn't know you did punch needle. And she said, well, this is only my second one. She said, let me show you my first one. Here it is. And she pulled it out, and she said, I don't really know what I'm doing. And it was the most beautiful punch needle I have ever seen. You guys, I looked at that and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do any more punch needle, because I've done tons and mine look nothing like that. So at any rate, yeah, a Little House Needlework Bee Garden. I have a little rabbit going, a little, can't think of the designer right off the top of my head, but a little rabbit, just a teeny one. I should be able to get that done. Oh, I just thought of something. I have another finish that I completely forgot about. I'm almost to 15 minutes. Let me go ahead and pull that other finish, and then I'll do a second video and show you some of the other things I've been working on, as well as that finish, and then we'll be done. So go to video 2, and I'll be back in just a second.